Well, Doc, you're down here for the All-Star show. How things look tonight aside from being on the muddy?
Well, it looks like it's going to be pretty tough. We got all the guys from Pennsylvania and out west, Iowa, and around. Looks like it's going to have our hands full here tonight.
Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've been racing now for just about 14 years.
Yeah, 13 or 14 years, I guess.
After that many years behind the wheel of a race car, have you picked up a few pointers that make it a little easier for you than a rookie out there on the track?
Yeah, experience is the best teacher. You know, the longer you run, the more you learn.
I'd like to introduce you. You just saw a film of Doc Dawson that I took a couple of years ago at Millstream Motor Speedway. Doc mentioned that night that the competition was tough. There was drivers from all over the country. That was an all-star championship race, and Doc liked that kind of competition. Well, times have changed in the last 2 years, and that kind of competition is still available, although it's somewhat more infrequent. It's here tonight, though, at Limaland Motor Speedway. This is the first annual Doc Dawson Memorial Race. Doc lost his life racing at an Illinois sprint car race last year, and Limaland Speedway, where he held the first championship in 1967, is honoring him tonight with a memorial race. This is the Doc Dawson Memorial Race, and we'll be talking to some of the drivers that will be competing here tonight in memory of Doc Dawson.
The grandstands were full at Limaland Motor Speedway for this Doc Dawson Memorial Race, and some of the best cars and drivers from a three-state area were on hand to participate. This was probably the largest crowd to fill Limaland Motor Speedway since it took that name in 1967. And these race fans all remember Doc Dawson, a driver who won the original championship in 1967, and a driver who will always be loved in the hearts of race fans all over the country. Johnny Bieber was on hand, as well as Dub May, Rick Ferkel, and countless other great drivers. They'd come out to show their respect to Doc Dawson and to compete in this first annual Doc Dawson Memorial Race. We talked with some of the drivers and asked them about some of their memories of Doc Dawson.
Hi, my name's Rick Unger, and I guess what I remember best about the Doc was 2 or 3 years ago when I first started racing in the area, and I was new to the tracks and young driver. Doc would always take time to come down and look over my car for me and maybe give me a few pointers on how to get around the tracks in the area, because he was always one of the best in the area around here. And we just lost a great competitor when he lost his life out in Illinois last year. And
yeah, hello, I'm Buck Vaughn, and they asked me to say a few words here about some of the things I remember about Doc Dawson. First thing that comes to mind is the guy, you know, super race driver, but he always had time enough to help guys like us out if we was having difficulties. He's an awful hard act to follow, and he's, I don't know, sort of stuck in all our minds and never will completely leave us.
Hi, I'm Dub May from Hanover, Pennsylvania. I've come here to race in Doc Dawson's Memorial Race. And Doc was, well, he was a good friend of mine, and we'd raced a few times together. We were always in the wrong part of the country to race with him a lot, but
let's see, my name is Merrill McGilton, and I'm supposed to talk about Doc a little bit. I run with him a lot. We had some pretty good times, especially after the races, and I don't know, he was just one heck of a guy.
oh, I'm Jack Hewitt, and the things I remember about Doc racing is between him and Dad, I had two good teachers. He's always giving me the high sign, think a little bit.
I'm Bob Greer. I've raced here at Limaland for several years. We won the point championship in 1969. Run with Dawson about all them years, done a lot of work for him. He was a hard charger, always sticking his nose in and always going as hard as he can go. About as nice a buddy as I've ever raced with down through the years.
Hey, my name's Lippy. Now, I suppose probably a lot of people telling you what they thought the most about Doc, but I suppose it was the way he always was helping everybody, and you know, I was closer to him than I suppose most of you, and I don't know, everything he was to me, you know, can't be told in the little bit of time I've got to tell it. But I suppose he was probably the most premier race driver I ever knew.
Doc Dawson was loved by his fellow drivers as well as his fans. It's true, we won't have Doc to race with anymore. But one thing we'll always be able to cherish are the wonderful memories of Doc Dawson. We think of Doc's wife, Marcy, and his children, Brent and Monica. Doc Dawson, the first champion at Limaland, a great race driver, but most importantly, a great man. The first annual Doc Dawson Memorial Race was eventually won by Dub May over a stellar field of cars and drivers. We hope that Doc Dawson can be remembered every year and his race continued throughout the years.